Hello, everybody. And good evening. Welcome back to the stream. I apologize I haven't been able to get more streams up live, but I'm coming back tonight here on a Sunday night. Finally, I've had time. Just had a lot of family over and a lot of travel to do over the last few weeks. Work has definitely got me completely slammed, but I'm glad to come back here and stream for you guys here. So we're on Board Game Arena here. We have Scythe. This is a game that was requested by a good friend of the stream, Mr. Scott from Hexal Gaming. And if you haven't checked out his channel, definitely check out Hexal Gaming. And yeah, we're going to definitely learn how to play Scythe. Now, if you haven't played this one before, we'll quickly go through the rules. This is a game meant for 1 to 5 players. I currently have a table set up for a 2 player game, but just to kind of go over the game here, the objective of the game is to complete all six, complete 7 different paths of completion throughout the game, whether it be completing upgrades, deploying all 4 mechs, building all 4 structures, enlisting all 4 recruits, having all 8 workers on the board, revealing an objective card, winning 2 combats, having 18 popularity, or having 6 power. And the first player to do that wins the game there. This is a resource building game here, and you're essentially sharing a board with an opponent, and you'll each start off on different sides of the map, and you'll gain resources as you take control of hexes, and you'll eventually build like characters or mechs and stuff like that, and set up workers to work in different locations. And here's a track of the board here. So without going too deep into the rule book here, let's go ahead and jump right into the game. And I am doing this via Board Game Arena. Again, if you have not done this before, highly suggest it. The premium pass for the year is definitely worth it. It gives you access to all the different type of premium games that they have on Board Game Arena, and Scythe is one of them. Highly recommended if you're a big board game fan. A great place to go out there and play games. Now I'm doing this as a turn-based game. This is still a beta version on Board Game Arena, but definitely check it out here. So, so this is our board here. I am playing Saxony, and I'm going to be deployed over here. As you can see, my board here is marked by my sign over here. So to start off here, I have oil and iron, which is pretty good actually, because I can use the barrels here to help me improve my actions here. These are going to be some of the actions that are going to be available to me, and essentially the more I can upgrade, the more efficient I become in the game. But the first thing I want to do is make sure that I have enough um, enough units, so that way every time I choose to produce something, I can um, I can get more resources. So having a lot of characters is definitely a big thing. So I'm only going to move up here. I'm going to make sure I control this area here where I have the little meeple space. So that way, when I produce, I can get a meeple and a barrel, and I'm going to start using that there. So I'm going to end my move here, and I'm going to confirm. So now it's going to be my opponent's turn. My opponent is playing Crimea, which they're unfortunately right next to me, right over here. We are separated by this river over here. But to start off here, it looks like they have food, which is good for helping them do some quick some food stuff to upgrade some of their building resources. And they all right off the bat also have the meeple, which he did take the produce action. So now he has 2 units there. That's going to help him produce faster. So he is a little bit ahead of the game when it comes to that for me. So the next thing I'm going to do here is going to be the produce action. Now I only get to choose 2 spaces, which is all I have available right now. So I am going to get 1 additional colonist and 1 oil, and I will confirm and do that. Now every time I use that action, I lose a popularity here, so I can't constantly force my people to constantly produce without sacrificing that. So eventually, I'll have to bolster to get the morale up, so that way I can continue to produce. All right, now looking at my opponent, they're likely going to probably move. You can't take the same action twice back to back, so you do have to kind of spread it out a little bit. All right, so my opponent's thinking what turn to take here. Now, in a full 5 player game, and this board gets picked up really, really crazy. This is one of the games I like to play like in person because I love the details of the mechs, and it's just really good. It's nice. All right, so my opponent chose the trade action. So they traded for 2 additional food, which is going to give them 3 here for them to spend. So that was a pretty good move there. They're not having to move any additional workers around. So that's going to be great for the next turn when they're going to be able to produce. So my turn here, I'm probably going to choose to bolster here. And I'm gonna pay 1 of my coins here to get 2 reputation here, and that'll help me later on in the game when I need this to spend for like different resources and stuff. So now my opponent chooses to bolster as well, so they also increase their tokens there, and he's choosing the enlist action since he had enough resources, food resources, in order for them to enlist. Now, the enlist is a one-time bonus. They have 4 different options for them to choose from. If I remember correctly, it is these ones over here. And he took the new recruit, which gives him 2 additional popularity, which is great. All right, so it's my turn here. I'm going to choose to produce here. Now, what's great is that since now I have 2 meeples here, now I'm basically doubling my amount of workforce that I'm having here. So I'm going to end up with 1 barrel and 2 meeples here. And then my next turn, I'm probably going to move to start producing more heavily here and start getting more barrels so that way I can start upgrading things. All right, so my opponent also taking the produce action. He's getting 1 additional food and also has 4 meeples there as well. More than likely going to end up moving some of them to another spot here. Now it's my turn again. I can't produce 2 turns back to back, so I'm going to go ahead and choose the move action. I'm going to move. I have 2 total moves, so I'm going to move 2 units over here. So now I'm producing 3 barrels a turn. All right, my opponent choosing to trade here. So they chose to trade for iron. So that's going to be good for the next turn. That will enable them to eventually build a mech. So that's going to be good for them there. I am now going to produce again here. This is going to give me now 3 barrels and 2 meeples, which means that the next turn I can upgrade. So that's going to be huge for me. And I'm getting pretty close to my limit of workers. You can only have a maximum of 8 workers. So I will probably take a turn or two to start moving stuff out once I get through this part here, because I want to make sure I start producing iron. And there you go, my opponent moving meeples from this area here out to the iron. All right, now I'm going to choose the trade upgrade. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to trade one of my barrels, probably for food. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to trade this for some food. We'll choose that. Choose another one of those. So that still leaves me with 3 barrels, which is exactly what I want. And then I'm going to pay 3 to upgrade. And I'm going to choose my upgrade to upgrade. So now it'll only cost me 2 barrels in order for me to upgrade. And I'm probably gonna choose this cube up here. So now when I bolster, I'm going to end up getting 3 of these icons, and it'll only cost me 2 barrels to upgrade. So that's a really good upgrade for me. All right, so my opponent choosing to trade bolster, he chose to give away one of his resources here for 2 barrels. He's also looking probably to upgrade to, or choose the upgrade action on his as well. All right, so now I'm going to start moving some of my units up here. I'm going to start moving this over here to that area there, and I'm going to confirm there. So I'm in a good spot here. I probably should upgrade this section here, but I also want to start making sure I have a mech that I can deploy. So I'm going to need to get some additional iron to deploy a mech. So my opponent chose the move action. He chose not to move any units and instead gain one of these resources here, and end up paying 2 to upgrade their mat. And they naturally have 2 resource or just 2 barrels to pay just to upgrade one. So that's really good for them. So I'm going to peek to see what they choose to upgrade. That'll give me some idea where they're going to go. And there we go. So he took the produce cube to put it down here, which is really great because now he can produce on 3 separate tiles. And now only needs 3 iron to deploy a mech, which is a really good upgrade for them. So I am going to use the trade upgrade because I already have 2 barrels here. So that's all I need really to upgrade. So I'm going to choose to trade for 2 resources here. I'm going to trade this and I'm going to grab iron. And then I'm going to upgrade here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the, oh man, so I could use it to move 3 units, or I can open up my production space. And I think this is the correct call. I'm going to use this here and I'm going to upgrade here because now the next turn I can use this to produce a mech because I have the 2 iron that I need. All right, let's see what my opponent does. So far, he's leading the way with victory points. He has a couple more resources ahead of me, and he has an enlistment already, which gets him up there. He has more uh, reputation than I do right now. So I am running a little bit behind by that, but once I get my machine going, I think I'm gonna catch up pretty quick. So I'm going to the bolster here. I'm gonna pay 1 to get 3 reputation. That's gonna be really great for me. And then I get to pay 2 and 2 coins to deploy. So the first thing I'm going to change here is I'm probably going to choose Riverwalk. This is going to be the only way for me to really get units out from this area across the river so I can go into more hexes. So I'm going to deploy them here. And I got my first mech. So I just need 3 more of these mechs and I'll get one of the victory conditions for the game. All right, so moving on to my opponent. Let's see what they choose here. So my opponent also trading and probably, oh, so he traded for 2 barrels, so he's going for the upgrade there, so which is fine. I am I'm going to see, I as much as I do want to build on all 3 of these, I don't want to waste 1 action there, but I think the correct choice is to just do it anyway. So I'm going to produce, and I'm going to produce from all 3 of these locations. I have a maximum 1 meeple that I can make now, which will put me at my 8 meeple limit. And I'll have 3 barrels and 2 iron, which is going to get me another upgrade and another mech. So I'm going to confirm that. Now, it should be good for a couple of turns to not have to produce because I have enough right now where I can start moving on to other resources to start conquering those. Now, if I'm keeping track here, right now I'm the first person to complete this particular objective here. I have 8 meeples. My opponent looks like just got it as well. Oh, actually, no, he's short 1, so he doesn't have it yet. Okay, that's definitely good to know. But as far as the ranking here for the popularity, he's definitely ahead of the game here. He has 6, I only have 2, and then I'm working on getting 4 mechs here, which I'll probably have. So now that I've completed having all these units here, it's time for me to start moving them. So I'm going to move this one guy over here. And then I'm going to take my mech, who's going to carry all 4 of these guys, and I'm going to take them over to, I'm probably going to do the food up here. Can I? No, well, apparently not. I'm going to go for the lumber. Never mind. All right, and then I'll confirm there. So normally without the Riverwalk mech, I'm not able to cross this barrier, so you're kind of landlocked here. But once you do have your mech there and you're able to Riverwalk, then now you start accessing tiles that you normally couldn't do it before. And there we go. My opponent moving more workers out. Still has 2 meeples here that he can't really take care of right now, but that's okay. and my opponent chose to upgrade their mat again. So they went again for the iron upgrade, and it looks like, what did they choose here? I think they ended up taking one of these here to bring it down to that second area there. All right, so it's my turn here. I could choose to produce, but I think I'm okay for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy my second mech here. So I'm going to bolster again. Pay 1 to get 3. So that's moving me up the way. All right, so now my next one here is I can either choose disarm, which means that whenever my opponent chooses to battle me, they lose 2 combat power, which is really good. Or I can go for more speed and move my mechs faster, which I think might be the best place to go. Uh, I am considering the underpass, but it depends on how aggressive my opponent gets, whether or not I choose to go for this arm. But for the time being, I need speed. And now I get to move it, and I think the correct choice will be here. So now I can split my forces if I need to. So I'll just confirm that. Now, the one thing I completely forgot to do is taking a look at my objective cards, because these are another way I can get points here. So this one here is control at least 3 farm territories at the end of my turn, and then build at least 3 structures, none of which are adjacent to my home base. So I need to have at least 3 territories that are not around here, this home base area, and that way I can build structures up there. So I think I'll eventually work on that. I'll have to get more wood to start building structures, but I'll get there eventually. All right, so I'm going to do the trade and upgrade here. I'm going to start getting some hearts. I need some popularity here. And I'm going to pay 2 to upgrade. And I'm going to increase my movement here. And I'm going to confirm that. So now it only will take 2 wood in order for me to start deploying these monuments. Now, in order for me to control 3 farms, I need to spread out a little bit. Once I have access to the tunnel, I can probably go to another place that might have it. The places I'm looking at here, so I have a tunnel entrance here, 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 and here. This one being the only one that has food. So I think I'm going to control this one and this one. And then I might have to come here and move north. And I think that might be the only way for me to have all 3. So we'll see how it happens. All right. So I'm out of resources right now. So I think the best thing for me to do right now is to produce. And I have the 3 tiles that I want. I'm going to have 4 wood, which is going to be great for 2 resources. So I'm going to go ahead and produce. Now I'm going to eventually move my units off of the oil, because I'm going to have more than enough resources there to finish my upgrades, which I only have 3 left. So I'm going to eventually need to start moving those out. All right, my opponent, let's see what they're doing. They're choosing the move section. They've gathered quite a few resources here. So they're choosing the move action. He has a mech already. Um, hmm. He's probably going to upgrade as well, so we'll see. So my opponent gathering all his forces here, so it looks like he's ready to start spreading out as well. So I'm going to have to start, I'm probably going to have to consider getting my disarming mech. I'm checking to see what my opponent chooses to upgrade next. So they went for the bolster upgrade, and so that way they can start enlisting faster. So that might be their next move as well. So I have um, I have the resources here. I have the movement here, and I'm able to deploy. Um, I can start building the monuments now that I have the wood. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the move action here. First thing I'm going to do is move one here. The next action is going to move one of these mechs here. I'm going to move him 1 and 2. And then my last mech here, um, thought I could river walk, but I guess not. Make sure. Hmm. It's a tough choice here. I think I'll just follow up here and come here. And now I'm going to be able to build a monument. I'm going to choose this section over here. I'm going to build the mill, and I'm going to confirm. And I spent 2 wood, and that's the first one of my monuments there. And if I remember correctly, I need to build 3 more. Yeah. So as long as I get one of those 2 objective cards, I think I'll get it here. Although I think I'm gonna go for the harder one just because it'll give me more points if I remember correctly. So my opponent going for the enlist action after producing resources on their board. All right, so not able to move this turn, but I still have actions I can do here. I am going to deploy another mech, so I'm going to go ahead and bolster here. There we go. And now I'm going to deploy my third mech. Um, let's see. Being able to use mountains is a really good place, but I do feel like my opponent's going to start spreading out, so I'm going to get the disarm for the time being. And I'm going to probably going to keep it here close to my base, right at the mine area, just in case. All right, so my opponent going for the trade and probably going to enlist again. All right, so my opponent deploying his second mech, and he's going to deploy it probably over the farm area over here. Opponent getting a little aggressive. He's trying to build up his forces here, but he'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to move. Gonna move this mech here. I'm gonna choose one of my units here to go here. I'm gonna move this guy with my unit over here. So now I control 3 units there. I'm going to still need a total of 6. So, and I only need 1 more mech. So I'm going to choose to. It's a tough decision. I'll choose to move this one here. I'm gonna when I produce my last time, I'm gonna end up having just to do this one location. for all the oil, and that'll be the last amount of resources of that I'll need um, for doing upgrades and such. So I'll end up building my monument. I can choose to reveal my objective this turn, but I'm going to choose not to. I'm going to see if I can end up getting the last. Um, yeah, I need at least 3 structures. So I think I'll be able to do that in another turn. So I'm going to choose not to reveal my objective here. I'm going to go for the harder one. So, all right, so looking at the board here, my opponent definitely getting a lot of popularity here. We both have 6 meeples or 8 meeples each here. My opponent going for the enlist action. Okay, looks like he's about to complete that there. I think that's going to be his 4th one. Let's take a look at his board. Yeah, so this is the only one that he hasn't done yet. So he's about to get that one and end up getting that bonus there. All right, my opponent making some moves here. Ends up moving here into the woods here. It looks like he wants to get control of that wood resource. All right, so we're going to trade here and upgrade. So I'm going to um, get 2 resources here. Think I'm going to go with I need wood. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna trade this food and I'm gonna trade for wood. And I'm gonna go for food again and trade for that. Okay, now I'm gonna pay 2 to upgrade there. I'm gonna go for the heart and tough call, but I think I'm gonna go for the food upgrade here. And I'm still not gonna reveal my objective card, but the next time I do a movement, then I'll be able to complete that and pay that off. So my opponent's getting pretty close. Just got higher than me here for this particular board here. 16 helps you claim that particular objective marker. So he is climbing fast. He's only 3 away from claiming that. Oh man, my opponent doing a great job there. So it's time to move. Um, I'm going to I'm gonna move my mech over here because I'm gonna start having to transfer these guys out here. And then I'm gonna leave yeah, I think I'll leave them there. That's fine. Um yeah, that's all I do. I don't need to maximize my movements here at this point. So I'm gonna end all my movement there. I'm gonna build another monument or another building here. I'm going to choose this tile here and build a armory. I'm going to confirm. And then I'm going to reveal an objective. And I'm going to do build local infrastructure. And I do get a star for revealing my objective. And now I'm going to reveal the harvest advantage as well. So I'm going to get 2 stars from completing both of those there. So I'm ahead of the game here. I'm just pulling up ahead. My opponent is probably going to get the bolster one, but I got to this one first. All right. So my opponent going for the trade. He's getting more hearts there, so that's good. He's slowly rising up to those ranks. Now, these particular boards I can find particularly difficult to finish off sometimes, just because of that. But got to do what you got to do. So I will now produce here again. Um, it's a tough choice here because I do want to make sure I get um, enough oil, and I do need at least one more of those. And I do need at least 2 mills, but I only have one one of those things. So I think next turn I'm going to start consolidating the food, so that way I don't have to keep on doing that. So I will choose the food for the time being, and I'm going to have it produce 2, which is fine. And oh, I can produce one additional one, so I'll do that there. That'll give me enough to do an enlist action the next turn. And then because I got enough food there, I'm gonna pay 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna confirm. I'm gonna enlist, and I'm gonna go for. Gonna go for the bolster one here. Yeah. And then next turn, I'm gonna be able to build my 4th mech, and that should give me that star. All right, my opponent choosing to produce here. He's still had this 4 conglomerate here. So ends up going with ignoring the food, which he doesn't need anymore because I believe he's enlisted everything he needs. But it looks like he's going to go for the last mech as well since he has 3 available there. So I'm going to go ahead and bolster here because I'm going to build my last. Actually, can hang on, undo that. I forgot that I should probably upgrade. So that's what I'm going to do first here. I'm going to trade, and I'm going to choose this area here to produce a wood and another wood. And then I'm going to upgrade. Oops, wrong one. I'm going to pay 2 to upgrade here. And I'm going to upgrade the iron space there. So that way I only need 1 iron in order for me to finish building my last mech. And now I can move all 3 of these units here, which I'm actually going to move. I'm going to have my mech come and collect them so I can start moving them over to the other resources here. So my opponent reached the 16th level here, so he ends up getting his 2nd star here. He has 16 power. So he's in a pretty good spot there. I am going to bolster so that way I can gain 3 there, which is fine. That's great. I'll also have my 16th power there soon. And now I'm going to deploy my last mech here. And it is the one with the underpass, which is fantastic. I'm going to put him here, so that way next turn I could just straight move them. And there we go. I got my 4th star here. My opponent only has 2. So I'm able to, I'm a little ahead of the game right now. I just need 3 more stars, if I'm not mistaken, which I'll get from this bolster action over here. And there we go. My opponent puts out his 4th mech up there. So he's caught up on that side there. The last thing I need here is to build a monument, which or my last building, which I already have the 2 wood that I need. So I'm going to choose the build action. I'm going to start taking everybody out over here. 1, 2. This unit over here. I'm going to take it and consolidate over here. And then lastly, I'm going to bring this guy up here. Oop, I meant to bring all my colonists with me. So let me go back and do the last step. Thankfully, the game has the ability to do that on last step when you mess up. So so let's take all these resources and let's move it all the way up here. And lastly, I get to build my last objective. I will build the mine right here, confirm it, and with that, I gain my 4th monument, which is going to be my 5th star. So my opponent going for the produce action here. See what they go with. Probably going to see another round of upgrades here. Oh no, they chose not to do that. Okay, they're going for the movement. That's a little scary here because we are within combat range, and he's likely going to be able to bring in at least 2 mechs into the fight. All right, good. So he moved them away, which is fine. Oh, no, they're thinking about it. All right, let's see. Oh, he probably meant to bring the colonists with them. That's fine. All right, yep. So he's consolidated 2 mechs here, and there we go. So putting all these units here, my guess is probably trying to complete an objective. He does end up building one of his buildings, or going for an upgrade rather. Trying to see how many upgrades he has left. He has 2 upgrades, so he'll be down to 1 to the final upgrade. All right, so because I have my monument up, I was able to get my last star because he triggered the upgrade there, and that gave me my last star. So with that, the scoring gets to be added all together here, and it was a close game. I was able to win here. The total of 46 to 37. The objective cards definitely helped me win this game here. But yeah, 46 to 37, pretty great game gear there for Scythe, and GG's to my opponent there. And yeah, so that concludes the end of Scythe. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and checking this one out here. Again, I'm doing this more as an introductory video for the game. I will probably be doing more of these later on as soon as I find I have time. I do have a trip coming up where I'm going to be out for a bit, so I might not get the chance to stream for a while, but it is still really awesome to come back and do this after not being able to to do this for some time, and yeah, always having fun introducing new games here. If you do like what you see here, definitely like and subscribe, and click that bell for alerts here. I do post these on YouTube for people to watch it on demand. So if you happen to miss an episode or anything like that, definitely check out the YouTube channel where I post these there. So that way you can take a look at these games in case you have any questions about how to play. If you have any suggestions for games that you want to see, definitely let me know. Hit me up. You can message me on Discord or leave a comment on any video to let me know, and I'll be happy to go through any game on there. If you're interested about this particular site, there's going to be a link in the YouTube video description for Board Game Arena. Definitely, highly recommend it if you haven't checked out the site. It has a ton of games. I personally really get a lot out of the premium membership. That it gives you access to all these games, and it's such a great resource to play these on the go. You have turn-based games, you have real-time games, so you have different speeds for how fast you can play games, and they do tournaments online all the time for these games. So definitely highly recommend that. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me this Sunday night, and I will catch you all on the next one. Hopefully, I'll be back to get some more Armor Core 6 games just so I can finish off that particular game because Final Fantasy Tactics is around the corner and I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But anyway, have a